Hi guys, this is gsno.com and I'm here with a review of the Huawei Honor 8X. This one is one of the biggest handsets we've played with lately. It's a 6.5 incher. I haven't seen one ever since the Apple iPhone XS Max. It was launched in September 2018. It's still reasonably fresh and it's got pretty much the same specs as the Huawei Mate 20 Lite, but it's bigger. So it should be priced at around $250–300. It's a glass and metal phablet, which is quite large. It's meant for video consumption, maybe some camera work, and it has this nice band here and also some AI features. Basically, you can call it the bigger Mate 20 Lite. Now, design-wise, I love this vertical band. It reminds me of the Sony Cybershot cameras. It also catches the light with some nifty vertical waves. It's got glass at the back, glass at the front, metal frame in between. If you want measurements, 7.8 millimeters in thickness. It weighs 175 grams. It's got a 6.5 inch screen with pretty narrow bezels. Reasonably easy to use the single hand, but only if you have a big hand. If you have a small hand, not that easy to reach all the areas. Anyways, it's premium for the price tag. It comes in black, blue or red, and I'm going to say it that it may feel a bit too big for some people, but it's premium build for sure. Now on the display front, 6.5 inches IPS LCD LTPS with the newfangled aspect 19.5:9, and the resolution here is 2340 over 1080 pixels. We have a small notch which we can hide from the settings, and also curved sides, gently curved sides, probably 2.5D glass panel. Okay, so let's go straight to the video playback and enjoy our typical test video. I'm going to start over, and this is what the experience is like. Reasonably immersive, nice colors, okay brightness, at least indoors. Contrast not that good. Wide view angles. Here we go, and a pretty clear and crisp image. Now we also did other tests like we usually do, and let's see what came out of that experience. Okay, so we go here. Under the microscope, this is the pixel arrangement. It's of the RGB stripes variety, and we also did a brightness test to pretty modest results. The highest we achieved was 347 actually. Here you can see 341 multiple iterations. We also got to 347. It's not very impressive. Many phones go past 400 lux. It beats HTC Ultra though and the Motorola Moto E4, but it's below 200 other phones we've tested, like the Xiaomi Mi A2 and also the Huawei P20 Lite and the Mate 20 Lite, and those were certainly not heavy hitters of the display department. So there's that. At least we have a bunch of tweaks, so you can actually tweak the experience of the screen. Keep in mind, not very bright, but indoors it's enough. So you can mess around with the brightness, mess around with the color temperature, can set it to normal or vivid. We got this palette here, we got the eye comfort option, which gets rid of the blue light, home screen style, standard or drawer, so you can have an app drawer, wallpaper, full screen display, so you can benefit from the entire estate of the screen. You can hide the notch, like I just did. View mode, text size, resolution, and that's about it. Okay, other than that, the CPU is familiar. It's the Kirin 710. We've seen it on the Huawei Mate 20 Lite. We also have 4 or 6 gigabytes of RAM, depending on the version you buy, 64 or 128 gigabytes of storage, plus a micro SD card slot. Now, as you probably know from the Mate 20 Lite, it can run basically any game without lag. You can run PUBG, Asphalt 9, no problem, maybe even Fortnite if it becomes available. By the way, the phone also has GPU Turbo, so it's really promoted as a sort of gaming device. Now we played with Riptide, and it's safe to say that you're going to play Free Fire and PUBG on it without problems. Okay, so GPU Turbo is basically a tweaking of all the resources to make the game run smoother. It has indeed some pretty nice frame rate, textures and all that. You can set the graphics all the way up. You'll be happy with it. Okay, so as long as the most popular games in the Play Store run, PUBG and Asphalt 9, there's nothing to complain about. And let's go further and see what we're dealing with here. As usual, we did a bunch of benchmarks, and it's time to talk about them. Okay, so we go to the screenshots. You know the works. There's Antutu, there's Geekbench, there's the usual battery of tests. And as usual, I'm going to have a hard time finding them. Now, this one here is Antutu 6. Pretty impressive score. It beats Nokia 7 Plus and Galaxy A9 2018, you know, the one with the 4 cameras at the back. Stays below the LG G5 and the iPhone SE. We also did the Antutu 7, which I should be able to find at some point during this live, provided that the scroll works fine. Okay, looking it up, still looking it up, should be here somewhere. Anyways, I can already tell you that the results are the following. In Antutu 7 we beat the AllView Soul X5 Pro and the Huawei Mate 20 Lite. We stayed below the Nokia 7 Plus this time around. And you can see these benchmarks in the full entirety of them once we're done with the text review, and I'm going to publish it on gsmdom.com. Okay, so other than that, we also did the Geekbench 4, and here you can see the result. We're taking into account the multi-core subtest. This one beats Huawei P10 Plus, which is no small feat, also Motorola Moto Z3, Play, and the Zenfone 5, so not bad. We stayed below the AllView Soul X5 Pro and the Galaxy A9 2018. In the graphical department, there's good old Slingshot, and in Slingshot, we were able to beat the Motorola Moto X4, the Motorola Moto G6 Plus, and the Cat S61. We stayed below the Xiaomi Mi A2 and the Nokia 7 Plus. Overall, the results are very similar to the Huawei Mate 20 Lite. You can actually fight the Nokia 7 Plus and a bunch of other Snapdragon 660 phones like the Xiaomi Mi A2. We also did some temperature tests, so let's check those out. Okay, so we did a bunch of temperature tests and let's check those out. This one is a bit hot, 39.8 degrees Celsius in GFX Bench, close to the limit of overheating but not quite there. And the other one is about 35.1 degrees Celsius in the game you saw before, Riptide, so no overheating basically. We also did some heat maps of the device. We used the FLIR camera of the Cat S61 rugged phone, and as you can see, pretty good heat dissipation. The only higher temperature area is at the top and the center, but not any case of overheating here. On the battery front, we have a 3750 mAh battery, or as some people call it, 3750 mAh battery. I'm going to skip the pleasantries and go straight to the battery life. We tested it, we first did some HD video playback, and we achieved 12 hours and 31 minutes, which is pretty impressive. It's solid. It beats the Asus ROG Phone and the iPhone 10, and that's pretty special. Stays below the iPhone 10R and the Galaxy S8. We also did the other test, you know, the one that involves continuous usage, simulating your use throughout the day. Now, this is more modest, 7 hours and 3 minutes. It's pretty unimpressive if you ask me. It's the 137th placed phone in our tests. It beats the Motorola Moto G6, Galaxy S6 Edge, stays below the Huawei P9 Lite 2017 and the Motorola One, so could be slightly better. Now on the charging front, it takes 2 hours and 4 minutes to juice up the phone. It's kind of long, but it's the equal of the Nokia 5.1 Plus. And after 1 hour of charging, you're at 58%. The settings for the battery are typical. We got your power saving mode, ultra power saving, screen resolution, optimize, and keep Wi-Fi on in sleep mode. On the acoustics front, we have the singular speaker at the bottom side. You can see the holes here, 5 of them, and you're going to use the music app. This is it. No special tweaks here, some minor settings, and you go into the song. You have it here, and these are the high-stand options with features like auto, 3D audio, natural, standard, and headset type. Speaking of headset, I didn't find any headphones bundled with my test unit. Now let's actually listen to some tunes. Okay, so conclusions: you will not cover the speaker in landscape mode. You hold it like this and it's not being covered. The volume is quite okay. I've heard louder, to be honest. Not much bass, no vibration of the backside, and I feel that the low notes aren't all of them rendered properly. The high notes are better rendered, but that's just me. We also have FM radio, and we did a bunch of tests with a special decibel meter. So this one tends to highlight the higher notes and not so much the lower notes. Okay, so let's see what we achieved here. 87 decibels were achieved with a typical acoustic sample, which is quite okay. Beats Galaxy S7 and the Huawei P20 Pro. Stays below the iPhone 7 and the Xiaomi Mi A2. We also did the other test, the one that involves Riptide GP Renegade, and here we are at 98.4 decibels, which is quite okay. It's superior to the Xiaomi Mi A2. Also, the OnePlus 6 and the Pixel 2 XL stays below the Nokia 8 and the Asus Zenfone 5. Okay, I would say we're done with the acoustics and with the singular speaker. Time to talk about the camera setup. So we're dealing with a dual camera at the back side, 20 megapixels combined with 2 megapixels, LED flash, AI features, f1.8 aperture, and at the front 16 megapixel f2.0. You already seen the options in the unboxing. There's HDR, moving pictures, panorama, slow-mo, light painting, AR, aperture, and you can film in Full HD at 60 frames per second. Now let's go to the gallery and have a gander of the shots. Okay, so let's go only to the camera. It was a pretty cloudy and dark day, so you should always take that into account when analyzing these pictures. Okay, so first things first, I'm reasonably happy with the color calibration, and this is a regular sample. This is an HDR sample. As you can see, it handles the dynamic range a bit better. And one of the things I love the most here was the quantity of details. Now you can pick a shot, any shot, start zooming in. You'll be very impressed with the details, both when you're zooming in on your PC and when you're zooming in from the phone. So zoom-wise and detail-wise, things check out. Not bad colors, and here's the zoom in action, being quite fine. Once again, not bad colors, even though I have to say that they feel a bit colder than usual. Some phones prefer warmer colors. They're colder than the Huawei Mate 20 Lite, for example, but the clarity was always nice. It feels like something on par with a Motorola Moto X4, maybe an Xperia XA2, so not bad. Also very good close-ups, actually very, very good. I feel that the bokeh kind of does too much with the blur. That's my impression. Maybe play with the wide aperture instead. In general, clarity was spot on. Here we go, several more shots, and the selfies are actually quite satisfying. Talking about the face texture, you can see every thread of hair, every pore, all the details, the bags under the eyes, the texture of the hair, the clothes. So I was actually really happy with the selfies, so that's important. We also have some moving shots in case you want to have fun with them. The moving shots are here. I would compare the selfie quality to the one of the Huawei P20 Lite and the Mate 20 Lite, which also did fine in this department. The best attributes of the phone, the way it renders the color of blue, so the blues are particularly good. Some weird stuff with the dynamic range of the sky, but not excessive. It's no Samsung for sure. And very nice close-ups, I'll say it again. Got this nifty eyes here, so that's fine. Okay, so of course we also have some bokeh with some excessive blur. But to be honest, it handles it pretty okay, can be compared to the Huawei Mate 20 Lite yet again. Several more shots, and to be honest, I'm not very happy with AI. It kind of does too much. The colors are way too vivid when the AI mode is activated. The close-ups are flagship worthy, that's what I can say, and I'm curious if we can get rid of the AI or not. You can see it here, it brightens up the image a bit, so that's one way to get rid of the darker shots. So overall, that's my impression. Is going to fight the Motorola Moto X4, Xperia XA2, beats a Nokia 6.1, Galaxy A6 2018, and it even beats the Huawei P20 Lite overall. It's comparable to the Huawei Mate 20 Lite. Too bad it was a dark day. These are some dark pics, but once again, very cloudy. Okay, so this has been a series of daytime shots. Let's go to the low light photo capture. To be honest, not that bad. I'm talking about okay clarity, pretty okay street light halos. Actually, some of the best street light halos I've seen at night on phones. There are some blurred shots here and there, but the clarity was pretty fine. It can face light okay. The zoom is kind of unimpressive. The finer details will pale in the distance, so you won't see much in the distance. Here we go. If you stay at 2 or 3 meters from the subject, you'll be happy, but in the distance things get a bit murky. As you can see, they may appear clear, but if you zoom in, they're actually blurry. So distance shots, not that good. It faces the light sources okay. I've seen phones blurring this front side of a building, and this area is usually darker, so that's fine. Also, compared to the Huawei Mate 20 Lite, which had a lot of red in the pictures, this one doesn't. So it can calibrate the colors a bit better. So basically, Mate 20 Lite with better colors. Okay, now let's go to the video. Now it's time to check out the video and see how we did in this regard, and for that purpose I'm going to use the MX Player app because it's easier to separate the videos. Okay, so here we go. We shot full HD videos in MP4 format, 30 frames per second and 14 megapixel bitrate, and the clips look like this. So we got this video right here. One thing that I always noticed about it is the way it changes the exposure in a proper manner. Not that good of a stabilization. Also a bit dark, like the photos, but it was a very cloudy day, and the sky feels a bit too white to be realistic. Pretty okay colors, and not a bad zoom. Really, not a bad zoom. The image is also rather clear, especially for a Huawei phone, which are not known for their impressive video capture. This one is a shakier video. Nice way of changing exposure. Pretty good panning without losing focus. Decent colors, decent clarity, but once again dark and shaky for sure. Also poor distance, poor details in the distance if you look closely at the trees. One more video here. We also have full HD 60 frames per second, but those are better used when you're actually seeing something moving, like sports, skateboards and all that. However, one of the surprises was the front camera video capture. The selfie video was actually top notch. You can actually use this front camera to pull off a bit of a vlogging activity. If you intend to do that, you'll be happy with the results. Nice face clarity, texture, color. The background is very blurred, but it's the face that matters. And we also did a stabilization test. We walked around a bit and things were underwhelming. We already knew they were shaky, but this was confirmed while we were walking around. Huawei doesn't have a good reputation when it comes to filming, and once again it's confirmed by this phone, and the Achilles heel is the stabilization. The colors are okay, clarity also okay, and the zoom is rather good. Anyways, that's about it, and I would put it maybe a bit above the Huawei P20 Lite and about on par with the Huawei Mate 20 Lite. Below the Motorola Moto G6 Plus, below the Galaxy A8 2018, and below the Nokia 7 Plus. Okay, now let's see the low light video capture, and we got the video number 1 here. Forgot to mention the microphone. During the day it was okay, but during the night it was a blizzard situation and it couldn't handle it. Nice halos, pretty solid colors. Yes, it's shaky, but the zoom remains strong. That's one of the attributes I'll remember about this camera. Strong zoom and nice details when zooming in. Decent colors, decent halos, reasonable clarity. Once again, walking around and the image is a bit shaky. However, the flicker is not as prominent as I've seen on several other high-profile phones. It's actually a bit slightly above my expectations, the low-light video. It can fight a Motorola Moto G6, most of the Nokia mid-rangers, and maybe even the Xperia XA2. Too bad we don't have decent stabilization because the zoom is actually kind of solid. Now on the web browser front, we're dealing with Chrome. Let's access gsmknown.com. Here we go. Good old Chrome, hitting the spot with a pretty decent speed of loading the website. For input we have SwiftKey with of course swipe, and now it's time to discuss connectivity. So things are pretty old school. Dual SIM, nano SIM card slots, 4G LTE, GPS, AGPS, GLONASS and Beidou, and micro USB. That's actually the old school part. Micro USB, microphone, an audio jack, and another microphone at the top. We have Wi-Fi A, B, G, and AC, Bluetooth 4.2. There's micro USB 2.0, just in case you were wondering. There's even NFC in the mix, or at least there should be on paper, although I can't seem to find it here. Oh, here it is. NFC is available, so you can pay some stuff. And the calls, I would like to say they were loud and clear, but the earpiece is very small. Don't know if you can see it properly here. It's very small. The earpiece is very easy to cover with a part of your ear. A part of the cartilage of your ear will definitely cover it and muffle the sound, so best of luck with that. We also did a bunch of speed tests, and I'm sure you're curious how they came out. So here we go. As far as the 4G is concerned, 93.6 megabits per second download and 44.7 megabits per second upload, which is decent. Wi-Fi wise, 187 megapsecond downloads, 24.9 megapsecond uploads. Both are excellent, but I've seen better, to be honest. Lately the results have been booming. On the software front, if you've seen a Huawei mid-range phone lately, you've seen them all. This is Android 8.1 Oreo with EMUI 8.2 on top, also GPU Turbo, don't forget that, gamers out there. Google Feed on the leftmost side, multitasking with a carousel, and you can also do the whole split screen thing. Okay, and then you can keep press the home screen. We got your wallpaper, you got your widgets, which are definitely anything but custom, and transitions and settings, badge, app icons, home layout, Google Feed, home screen loop. And you may have noticed that we've switched from the option of having all the apps on the home screens to an app drawer. You can do that switch from the settings. Okay, now if you push down, you can get the searching and everything like that. You can even search for apps, contacts and messages, and if you swipe down from the top, you got your notifications and quick settings and a useful reminder. You can add more quick settings, including a screen recorder, video screen recorder, which may come in handy for gamers and app testers. On the actual settings front, things are pretty straightforward, nothing fancy, not out of the ordinary. You got your app twin, you got your cleaner, you got your fingerprint scanner at the back side, which can also be used to trigger the notification area, browse pictures, answer a call, take a picture. And when it comes to security, you also have face unlock, which to be honest was faster than I expected. Actually a Zenfone 5 fast, and the fingerprint scanner unlocks the device instantly. Just tap it once and you're done. Believe me, it's pretty much okay speed wise. Well, other than that, we got the one hand UI, you got the high touch, you got the motion control, touch disable mode, and all the other features we've gotten accustomed to. I tried to find the knuckle gestures, couldn't find them, tried them out, and didn't seem to make them work on this device. Now, as far as the applications are concerned, there are quite a few. I counted them all, there's 59 of them. There's clearly bloatware. I don't care about Spider-Man, Puzzle Pets, I don't care about Kingdoms, Dragon Mania, Asphalt Nitro, Assassin's Creed, but I do care about having Netflix pre-installed. That's nice. We also have the app gallery from Huawei. We also have Game Suite, High Care, Honor, Mirror, Party Mode. You can hook up multiple phones and create a surround and party experience. We also have a notepad to do some note taking with alignments, formats, to-do lists, and so forth. And of course, you also have a cleaner app. You have Teams, you have a torch, you have weather. What else? Probably the most useful app remains, as usual, Phone Manager. Cleanup, mobile data, blocked, drop zone, and virus scan. So that's about it as far as the software is concerned. In a nutshell, it's bloatware, it's EMUI typical and minimalistic, shouldn't bother anyone accustomed to Huawei practices. Now let's go to the verdict. Okay, so we have finally reached the verdict for the Huawei Honor 8X. Now, for sure, on the pro side, we got a pretty sexy phone. That's for sure, with premium build. It can run any game you can imagine. I can guarantee it runs a few battle royale titles. It's a powerful mid-range phone with a good battery when it comes to video playback, a nice zoom when you're taking photos or videos. It's got a solid ability of taking video selfies and photo selfies, decent bokeh, nice colors and pictures, good selfie videos, as I said before, fast fingerprint and face unlock, and those are the pros. On the cons, it's still a pretty big phone, really hefty, quite big, not for the small hands. Maybe the screen is not very bright. It's within limits, but still nowadays below 400 lux doesn't cut it anymore. Also, continuous usage, only 7 hours. Well, it should have been better, to be honest. Other than that, the speaker at the bottom lacks bass and lacks the deep notes. The earpiece is too small. The AI features are, well, useless. If you see a photo without AI, it should be usually better than the one with AI. And the video capture was overall not very impressive compared to what I've seen on I imagine Nokia 7 Plus, for example, or the Galaxy A8 2018. Stabilization leaves a lot to be desired, and there's bloatware, so those are the cons. The size, the screen, part of the battery, the base, the earpiece, and the AI feature. In the end, I'll say it again, I always said it, this is basically the plus size version of the Huawei Mate 20 Lite. Same CPU, pretty much the same camera, GPU turbo in the mix for gamers, decent battery for Netflix, but not for gaming, only 7 hours. Also solid in selfies and also decent in bokeh. So larger and more gaming prone Mate 20 Lite. That's the vibe I'm getting here, and on many markets it's cheaper than the Mate 20 Lite, so you're getting bigger and cheaper, so it's actually a pretty solid deal. Only 2 cameras at the back and 1 at the front this time. The Mate 20 Lite has 4 of them. Keep that in mind. And forget about the whole AI thing. I think you'll feel the AI more in gaming than the camera. So that's it. It's a sexy selfie machine, good for gaming and Netflix. That's the Mate, excuse me, not the Mate. That's the Honor 8X in a nutshell here at gsmdome.com. Hope you enjoyed the review. We'll be back soon with more. Don't forget to subscribe and like our YouTube channel. Bye bye.